It doesn't matter if you think that you're a slave. If you are letting some app on your phone override your free will as an individual, you are a fucking slave. You're a drone in an alcove on a cube to a collective that answers to a queen or used to answer to a queen played by Alice Krieg that Patrick Stewart snapped her fucking neck, and I'm talking about the Borg. Deal with it. You're not an individual, you're a fucking drone. It was what did you call me earlier? Amenable Daniel,
Yes.
as opposed to
Normal.
what would your adjective be, Kai Wong?
My adjective to what?
Uh, Amenable Daniel. Dylan had said that he likes amenable Daniel.
I don't know, dude. I know recording, but I think he kind of sounded like a punk. No, I'm just playing. No, no. I actually, I think meaningful would be the best adjective to describe that.
So no. We're
No,
looking
no, no,
for
no, no.
yeah.
Difficult?
Okay. I think we're all lost in translation here.
I know. Where are we in
Okay,
this
let
conversation?
all
I'm
right. Let me
talking to two high people. I'm assuming Kai's high.
guys.
Yeah,
Hi.
guys, hi.
You you do know what we do for a living, Mr. Wade.
I
Uh,
do.
okay. Here's the deal. Here's what's going on because even while high, I can maintain this with logic and clarity.
Oh,
Uh, you see, Kai Wong, earlier, Dylan Wade and myself were discussing the conversation that we previously had, and Dylan had made the comment that he felt that I was amenable and that he liked amenable Daniel. Okay, so
versus the typical
yeah,
scrapper that I'm used to.
okay, yeah. So basically, Kai Wong, we're looking for the opposite of amenable. Like, what is if Dylan likes amenable Daniel, which was last night, as opposed to what? Are you following me, Kai?
Yeah, but I don't really know the answer you want.
Okay, do you know the definition of amenable according to the internets?
I can look it up real quick. No, I don't.
I could do, let me Google that for you.
Uh,
Google it.
I
Google the
gotta.
word,
All right, I'm
please.
going.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
I'm doing it.
I mean,
there are a lot of um there are a lot of antonyms I can think of,
hmm
but none of them quite work.
okay.
Um, I'm thinking.
Yeah, thinking.
Um,
Okay, so I found it real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
Amenable means open and responsive to suggestion, easily persuaded or controlled. That's what
What?
Google. That's what Google says of a
That's
person, open and responsive to suggestion, especially persuaded to or controlled.
so
hard.
Dylan.
Okay, hard-headed.
Okay, so wait, because I'm gonna call bullshit on Dylan here.
Oh,
Dylan,
joy.
do you accept the Google Internet's definition of the word amenable? Do you accept
Um,
that?
I'm pulling up. I'm
Because
pulling up the
and
definition
let me just go off on a
myself.
fucking rabbit trail just for a
Oh,
second here.
joy.
Um, the reason I ask if you accept the definition of the internets is because we live in a day and age where society as a whole believes that what is on the internet is now scripture. And I would tell a short story here, but I know that through the chain reaction of whatever it would butt hurt whoever, so I
Um,
won't because I
the
want to be
Merriam
amenable.
the Merriam-Webster definition it basically means willing to cooperate,
No, no,
willing.
no. What does the Webster dictionary say?
That's what he's telling you, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
but he said
Merriam-Webster.
basically. So
okay,
I don't.
so read the definition from the Merriam-Webster's, please.
Definition of amenable. One, liable to be brought to account. 2, capable of this is awkward wording, but we'll go with it.
Submission.
Capable of submission as to judgment or test, readily brought to yield, submit, or cooperate. C, willing, since 1 was amenable to spending more time at home. Is the
All right,
definition of
enough.
acceptance.
All right, great. Okay, so the internet's definition is of a person open and responsive to suggestion, easily persuaded or controlled, which is nothing like the fucking definition you just read, is it, Dylan?
No.
No. But you know what? Nowadays, everybody, you used to when I was coming up, it was like, I can't believe everything you read on the internet because most of it was bullshit. But it's completely shifted to where now the internet is the final authority of faith and practice for everybody now. Am I lying?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, you're right.
It's the truth. Am I
Yeah.
lying?
No.
Because I have been in conversations where I've been talking about a truth that has gone for centuries from master to apprentice, from mouth to ear. Okay, a truth that has been unchanged for millennia. And I had said this truth, and an individual in the room, right after it came out of my beautiful crafted lips, turned around, Googled it, and then, like as if I had fucking asked for them to as if I asked for you to do that, started reading a definition from the internets that was completely contrary to the truth that I had just spoken, that had been transmitted from mouth to ear, from master to apprentice for a millennia, as if, and they even got cocky, like as if they had one-upped me by, oh, the internet says something completely different, just like in this situation with the word amenable.
Well, I think that context changes things to some degree. When you're talking about a subjective sort of interpretation of something, as a definition of a word is,
Hmm.
um, that is entirely context dependent. That's entirely determined. Definition of words is something determined by people.
And this
People
is
decide.
Yeah, and this is something George Orwell really warned us about. So basically, my question to you, Dylan, is when you said you like amenable Daniel, did you mean amenable as in the internets or in Merriam-Webster's? Because if you say
Um,
one or the other, is the difference between me either, patting you on the head or smacking you in the fucking face. You know what I mean? Really, but not
I
really. I would never do that to you.
No, the Merriam-Webster definition from number C was a willingness to cooperate.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. And I concur with you, and I think that that's perfect. So now back to you, Kai Wong, as opposed to
This was a real roundabout way to get back to this, but
yeah, right. But it had to be done. We
it
had to
did.
walk around the lake in order to get around the lake. So Kai Wong, we're looking for the opposite of his acceptance and usage of the word amenable. You're muted out, dude. Totally muted. I guess the
Oh,
internet says
So
muted and not muted.
so unprofessional. None
Yeah.
hey.
of us have ever muted on a recorded call before.
Well, with that being said, I'm being targeted. Um,
Oh no shit.
so
That's in the graveyard, dude. Sorry, you're Johnny Come Lately on the targeted. No, you're not. Go ahead, make a targeted joke. Real quick. Let's
no,
hear it.
no, fuck that. I'm not gonna do it no more.
Tar Targeted jokes age incredibly well.
They do. They're like
Fine wine.
fine wine. Jesus Christ. All right. So anyway, Kai Wong. Well, basically, what was Dylan saying? Normally, or in his experience with me, I wasn't amenable, right?
I mean, yeah, you don't follow the rules.
You
Okay.
you you have a habit of digging in your heels. And last night you were very willing to, okay, I accept that. I accept that.
Okay. Okay. No, no, you should. You have an experience of me usually digging in my heels, correct?
Indeed.
Okay. So you can't just make a blanket statement and say I usually dig in my heels.
I said
But
I'm used to you digging in
oh,
your heels.
right. You did. Correct, correct. Okay. On what though? On frivolous shit or on principle?
Would it be fair to say both?
Yeah.
Give an example.
Of frivolous shit that you dug in your heels for.
Where I wasn't being funny, like it wasn't comical.
Mm.
Because you and I both know, because we have sense of humors, and Kai Wong does too, that 98% of the things I do is just punchline anyway.
It
You know
is.
what I mean? You know what I mean? People
Um,
people take it so serious. It's a fucking joke.
yeah,
Whatever.
no, most of it is jokes, to be fair, but it's hard to differentiate your jokes sometimes.
Yeah, I know. That's intentional, right,
He
guys?
does it on purpose, yeah.
He
That's
does.
When I said he was a douche, he's really a douche sometimes. But you know what? He's a good dude.
We're all
right. Do
we're
I
all
mean?
douches
Okay.
sometimes.
Yeah, but do I mean
Yeah.
Kai, whenever I'm out in public and stuff now, I object to this description, and I'm sorry, this isn't narcissist Daniel time, but I feel that we do need to reflect on the things that occurred last night because ultimately I do have a fucking point. But Kai Wong is out with me in public. Now, Kai Wong, do I, and I hate to use the word because I'm gonna take a piss on it later. When I trigger people, air quotes, trigger people, okay, do I mean harm?
Yes. No, but no, you really don't, man. Like, I think trigger wouldn't be the word. So I feel like if you can make at least one person smile a day, you're doing your part in healing the world. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? No matter the small or smile, as long as you take them out of their comfort zone and make them feel maybe better than they did, then it's completely justified. But yeah, trigger. Yeah, I don't know
okay.
about all that.
Okay, so this is Daniel's therapy session with you two people because I'm going into my inner whatever. So Kai Wong, you
I'm
would
gonna start charging.
you don't want to know what. Never mind.
What?
Too too many punchlines. Okay, so Kai Wong is normally with me when I quote air quote trigger people in public constantly. And do I do it constantly?
Everywhere we go.
Okay.
That
Every
doesn't
every
surprise me in the least.
right. So from what I understand, what Kai Wong is saying is that from his perspective, intimately viewing me, that means closer than anybody who would be listening.
Okay, don't be a douche about vocabulary. I know what intimate means.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to myself. This is my therapy session. It's about
Oh,
me.
Are you
I thought
therapying
I thought
yourself?
he
That's not how it works,
I
dude.
thought
No,
I thought we were going back to the Ward comment that it wasn't in.
no, no. Uh, no. So from your perspective, Kai Wong, I'm not like to describe me as quote triggering people is not correct. It's you said bringing a smile to people's day. So what do you, from the closest point of observance, what do you think my motivation is whenever I intentionally and meticulously change someone's state with a method that Buddhist monks have used for centuries with sudden like cones, like a slap on the head, to bring them to enlightenment? What would you say my motivation is when I quote trigger people? What's my motivation?
To
Honestly.
raise their awareness. Uh, uh, yeah, I would say just to like definitely brighten their day is just the best way you can put it. That's why you intentionally trigger people.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I do it all the time too. I don't maybe not do it on such a degree that you do.
You do it a different way, is all.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And then we're all different, so it all works out.
Yeah. So I just wanted to get that off my fucking chest because it's like I'm not triggering anybody. I mean, and it's like this. And Kai Wong knows this. We go to the grocery store, you see the same cashier every single day when you go and get your salad or whatever it is you're going to go get. And she's humdrum. Her body language is slouch. She doesn't really want to be there. Her breathing is low, and not just because of the mask. She's probably got some things going on with life, and this job fucking sucks. Okay. And she has to deal over and over and over, repetitiously, day in and day out, with people who just sling their fucking goods and wares on the little treadmill. She scans them, and she has a brief moment of human interaction with these people who just want to get their shit and go and don't even view that person punching buttons as a human being. They deal with that every single day, right? And then you get this asshole. Kyle Wong knows where I'm going.
Uh, I,
Continue.
I feel
As you
like I
were,
do
sir.
too.
Right? Then
Please
you get this.
continue.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me rewind this. You are at, let's say, a Walmart door greeter. Maybe you're a young black chick with, pretty blue hair streaks in your hair, and it's your job every day to make sure that every person coming into Walmart has a mask before going in the store. Okay, that's your job, and you count heads. Okay, and everybody who is going into Walmart complies. Okay, except for these two motherfuckers getting out of a magic minivan, and here they come again. Okay, and now Kawang, finish this story or tell a version of this story so that Dylan can get in our little fantasy world.
Okay, so I'll just use the example from last night. We go to Walmart 2 3 times a day, and normally it's the same little blue striped hair girl working the front. And as we walk in with these masks, we walk in straight to the door, straight to the gate. Once we get to the other side of that gate, masks are off because we're not sheep. We're not we're not here to follow their rules. And as we were leaving after we got the groceries, uh, she literally followed us to to the truck because every day we make that girl smile. I think she. I'll just leave it there for now.
Yeah, I mean, and Dylan, do you care to hear a little bit like of the script of how this goes typically?
Sure.
Okay, so I do have a mask that I carry with me just because, and it is a black face mask, and it has a. Go ahead, Kyle. What is it? What's on it?
It's a blood smile,
It's the blood smile.
like
Okay,
Joker.
like
That's
in
very on brand
on brand.
for you.
Oh, okay, thanks. That's a compliment. Yeah, or were you taking
Yeah.
a fucking jab, you asshole?
A little bit of both.
Both.
If I'm not, yeah, a little bit of both.
Oh, and just so people know, it's not something I ordered off of Etsy. Okay,
No, he made this smile himself with some like
it's
Native American clay or something.
it's a genuine blood smile that I made myself. I even did the entire ceremony of fucking playing that song and yeah, and smearing the alleged blood. Might have been real blood, but I don't do freaky shit like that. Of course, it's not real fucking blood. But I did the blood smile on my mask because I was like, this is going to be fun. This whole mental mind game experiment with these masks and COVID and all that, which we can get into another day. I don't want to get into it tonight because it would just go way too fucking long if I
Yeah,
said everything I had to say.
there's gonna be a debate there. I don't have
Shh,
the
there's
time
not going to
for
be a
that.
debate because I'm amenable, Daniel, now.
Oh, good. I love Amenable, Daniel.
Right. So anyway, so yeah, I have a blood smile mask. So I carry it with me because I got to get past the gatekeepers of whatever box store to just get some soap, you know. Okay? So
Mm.
I'll typically, put it on or act like I'm putting it on when I'm getting in and then just fucking put it in my pocket and bop around and just dare somebody to say something to me or stop me while I'm on the way to the soap aisle. You know what I mean? So I come out, it was either last night or I think we started this a few nights ago where this particular door person sees me and Kai Wong. She already knows we're, because we pass out Candace's business cards everywhere, so she already knows like kind of what we are. Um, so she lights up whenever she sees us either coming or coming out of the store because she knows she's about to have, as long as she can keep us a few moments of comedy, that is what some other outside observer would say is a triggering event, right, Kaiwan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when this first started, we were having fun and I quote unquote triggered her. And she said, oh, let me, and she put her hands on her hips, like she was doing her fake Wonder Woman pose and she was, play pretending. She said, so y'all come up in my store and did you take your mask off? Now she doesn't really give a shit if we do or not. So we're acting. All three of us are acting to get out of this fucking insane multiverse reality that we're in. Oh, you guys are saying too? Great. So let's all play pretend for a minute, and we're putting on a show for other people who are passing by, the three of us, basically, because we all see eye to eye, even though we haven't sat down and had the conversation. And I said, hey, let me tell you something. I got COPD. So if I wear that mask and breathe too much of my carbon monoxide in, I'll die. Okay. And then Walmart will have a lawsuit on their hands because to refuse me entry is discrimination. Right. Okay. Is that about right, Kawan?
Yeah, that's on point actually. If I have to be completely honest.
Okay. Put the mic a little closer to your face and then say, suck balls.
Suck balls.
Okay, there we go. Great.
Sounds better again.
Sounds better. Yeah. All of a sudden he says he sucks balls, and sound quality is great. Truth makes.
Andy's muted again.
Oh no. So anyway, so we're having a play. We're having a play pretend argument. Kai Wong and I and this door person, and I just happened to we be on a roll like me and you, Dylan. We have a comedic beat, so I happened to pop up with this whole thing about hey, me, I have COPD. If I go into this place, it's discrimination. They'll have a lawsuit, yada yada yada. So you're in between a rock and a hard place, Walmart. How can you mandate that I wear a mask? Because if I don't wear a mask, it's going to put you in the corner of discrimination and open you up to a lawsuit, which is all in humor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So last night, we went in again. This whole shtick started as soon as she sees us coming up. She starts screaming across the parking lot, "Y'all gonna come in here and cause trouble?" Or so what did she say? Go on.
She was like, "Oh, here comes trouble."
Yeah. Anyway, so we did our entire bit, and then as we're coming out, I think after our exchange, what was it that I screamed, Kyle?
COPD lives matter.
Ah.
Okay. Now, we kept going. It was a drive-by, it was a walk-by. But I did, out of the corner of my eye, catch several people who were in line to go in. Their states quickly changed, and I saw a wide array of emotions in those state changes. From one person looked like they were heavily offended. One person, kind of rolled their eyes in a smile. One person kind of looked down like they didn't want to get
By the
off.
way, that was me, the rolling eyes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so in the bigger picture, one observer would say that what me and Kyle Wong are doing is triggering people, which to me sounds like we're intentionally trying to piss people off.
Yeah,
I
but hold
I
on.
would actually call it something different, if I may.
Go, shoot, I want to hear this.
You're trolling people. You're not trying to trigger anybody, you're trying to troll them.
Okay, now what exactly is trolling someone? Because I might not quite get that.
Trolling somebody is intentionally being difficult for the sake of comedy. Um, Deliberately misunderstanding something for the sake of comedy, deliberately going against a simple rule that you would normally follow just for the sake of comedy.
Okay, so I'm a psychological troll.
Yes, you are. No, I mean, I've
Oh.
always thought you were a troll.
Really?
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
not.
definitely
But you mean like you say that lovingly, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a
a troll.
troll.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Trolls are only not fun when they're mean-spirited.
Okay, and Kai Wong has confirmed that he cannot observe that the motivation of my trolling, now we've moved from triggering to trolling, which is a relief, is not malignant. Like I'm not trying to be
No,
harmful.
okay, because like, look, even though when you said COPD lives matter, and people do get offense, the lady with the blue hair, she said all lives matter, and it just so happened that everybody's moods snapped back in.
Right.
So it was definitely like a feed off each other thing, like and that's how that's how you should be with everybody. You should feed off of them. They should, maybe I shouldn't say feed because we were
You
just talking about vampires last night. So
you should you should get her on here instead. She sounds like she'd be a
We
good
should.
addition.
We actually should.
actually, I think she'd be great on here.
Yeah, dude, let's do that, man. Yeah, we'll bring the Walmart chick on. That would be a great show, dude. We're
I
doing it, Kai Wong.
I was
I'll
half
ask her.
kidding, but if you want to do it, go for it.
Well, sometimes when you're just fucking around, the best stuff
What?
comes up, right?
Why the fuck not?
I know, right?
Why? Like, I'm sure she'll be so down to do it too.
I know. We'll get her high. We'll get her high. Get to see what she looks like without a fucking mask,
Right.
right? Hey, come on over to the Sanctum Sanctorum. We got a spaceship. You want to see? We're
No. I beg of you, do not open with that.
With the
That will get
66.
that will get you in a lot of trouble.
yeah. Okay.
That'll get you banned from that Walmart.
All right.
But you know
Talk.
what? He probably would do that though. I mean, okay. So can I tell him about the other night when we walked into the Circle K?
Well, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to urinate
All right. So the other day,
professionally.
he said,
Professionally.
"All right,
Of course, only
oh, okay,
professional urination in this house.
Correct. A spaceship.
Ah, yes, spaceship.
Okay, so I won't go in because I guess it wouldn't be professional enough. But yeah.
Okay, he's talking about urination. You can go for it.
Okay, yeah. So the other day we were about to. All right, so he needed a Brillo pad to clean a pan or something like that, and Walmart's closed, right? Because they've been closing at 10 o'clock. So we went to the Circle K, and I told him right before they go in, I was like, they're gonna think you got a drug problem, man. He was like, why do you say that? I was like, like people use Brillo pad to smoke crack. So with no hesitation at all, Daniel walks into the Circle K. He was like, "Where's your Brillo pad for my crack?"
That
But
sounds about right. That sounds about right. Yeah.
but the lady at the front desk, I mean, was cool. She if she knew we were kidding, and then she said she liked to go to strip clubs. You see what I'm saying? And her whole night looked like it got better because we walked in there, back was hunched over. She's quickly getting people out of line, but we sat there and tried to get Daniel's card, you know, in the Circle K thing to work for like what 4 or 5 times.
More than that, dude.
And she's just sitting here smiling, eating it up. So like when people say, quote unquote, we're just gonna say trolling now. When we trolling people, we're not
Yeah.
doing it with
You're not triggering. It really isn't the right word for what you guys are doing.
yeah, because if
All right.
triggering, I consider would be all about emotions. When you trigger somebody, it could you could be triggering them for like
Well,
to provoke them.
from my
Triggering somebody would be walking into a Trump rally and shouting socialism rocks. That would be triggering. And
Yeah,
a bit of trolling, honest,
yeah.
that a little bit of both. What you guys are doing is just trolling.
Okay, yeah. Because when
It's
I hear,
fun.
yeah, it is fun, and I think that it also, on a serious note, I think that not only is it fun, but I think that with all the insanity that truly is going on in this world, and all of
it's
the
good.
vitriol and the everybody is at each other's throats and in division, and it's I mean it's literally tearing this country apart. So I think that right now in these times, it is so important to do this type of quote unquote trolling. Now, I wouldn't even call it trolling, but at least I got away from fucking triggering. Because take that and go fuck yourself with it. I'm not triggering people. So at least we're away from triggering, and now we're at trolling, and maybe we can get to somewhere I feel more comfortable with later. But I think that right now, for people who are like us, who, and I mean well spoken, lighthearted, and educated, it's our fucking duty to troll right now because we might be the last line of defense for saving this fucking species that we're a part of. And I'm saying that from the bottom of my heart, like no punchline.
That's too much pressure. I'm just
No,
gonna go
man.
back to making funny memes.
Do that because you
Yeah,
know
do
what you're
that.
making you're making somebody laugh. That's
Yeah.
like when people get like I see Facebook be flooded with all this negative things, and as Danny, I've been doing it since we met. I flood my page with inspirational quotes, funny quotes. I might even type something myself one time,
Mm.
but I do that because I know it'll make somebody's day. Seeing that one inspirational quote might make that person wanna
Yeah,
better
and
themselves.
Kai Wong's really good at it too, especially in person. Like he's yeah. If Kai Wong's like, yeah, you're good at that. Like there's been days where I've had my ass on my shoulder, Dylan, and I've just been wanting to like if I had a gas oven, I would just put my head in it and just be like, fuck this life. And he's come over like a fucking ninja and either started fucking around in the Zen garden or, whatever, household stuff, and then said one thing like, hey man, you should watch this one video. you know, and then I watch it, and it's like this 5 minute video of this, that, or the other thing, but it's a fucking atomic bomb of, hey, get out of that state because get out of that state, and it sends me off on this trail of inspiration, right?
Yeah, that sounds good to me, and it makes
Yeah,
me feel good because
like
I do it. I do these things with. I try to make everybody. I know how it feels to have your head up your ass, in a sense, and I feel that since I've regrounded myself to want to do better, things have been better despite the bad days, despite those bruised days. And when Daniel's been going through a lot lately, and not like just a lot of emotional shit. And I'm glad I'm here to help. even if it is a 5 minute video.
Yeah, but that's your superpower, dude. And you know that's what you do, and that's what you do best. And what I do best is, you know, what people would perceive as triggering people, which is basically looking at a situation where there is a particular vibration, and analyzing it quickly, going, this vibration could use a little bit of raising. What's the best way to do it? Quickly alter everyone's state. Okay, do a state change with something said that is unexpected, probably off color, but enough to get people to stop and think about what the fuck they're doing, where the fuck they're at, and what the fuck life is supposed to be about. And if I may say so myself, I think I'm pretty fucking good at it. I don't know. We were talking about trolling and whatever to whatever, whatever. We can get off of that now. Because, yeah, I think we're done with that. Because,
Accept your fate, man. You're a troll or a triggerer, whatever works for people. Let
whatever.
them let
Trolls,
their let
trolls.
their beliefs be their beliefs.
I,
Don't try to.
yeah, I think I'm a psychic samurai. That's all.
We're all entitled to our own opinion, man.
Yeah, I know. Create your own, create your own reality.
Yeah.
It's all perspective.
I
All
reject your reality and substitute my own.
And I'm going to pull out of my Wizards of the Coast Magic deck some other card that they came out with last month that trumps that shit you just did. So, yeah, which is, which, by the way,
No, you.
which is exactly how the metaphysical world works.
Ugh.
Yeah, if you ever get involved with some of these fucking metaphysical asshats or witches or warlocks or whatever the trendy new thing is that Harry Potter they saw in Harry Potter, or the magicians or some shit, it's like
I'm
you
gonna do my best not to laugh at those people, but it's gonna be really fucking hard.
no, you should laugh at them people. You should laugh really hard. Yeah.
Be
you
really
talk
hard
you
not
talk
to.
to witches all the time.
Say that again.
You talk to witches all the time.
Yeah, they're they're hot.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean, they're already if they're calling themselves a witch, you already know they're a little off kilter. So it's kind of hot.
Yeah, which kind of is right up your alley.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm gonna be amenable.
I appreciate your amenableness.
Well, look, there's a method to that madness too, with my selection of but not getting too but yeah, I do draw a lot of like the metaphysical. I call them black magic fuckabouts. You know what I mean? Come on.
Google magic fuckabouts.
Google magic fuckabouts and people who, I guess they really do watch too much Harry Potter, but like when they, oh, you're spiritual. You're
What's a
spiritual?
What's a
You're
spiritual?
spiritual. You have an altar and you do incense? Okay. Oh, wow. You have, you have, you have certain symbols around your neck or whatever. This is just when I started covering all my shit up or just not wearing it out. Because you're like, yeah, I'm spiritual. And then immediately in their head of being raised on, fucking Harry Potter, they're like, somehow or another in a Jungian way, it triggers that in our interaction somewhere, there's supposed to be some metaphysical battle between us. Am I lying?
No, I'm not. I'm not the Harry Potter wizard.
I I have lived such a good life to have never met these people.
Oh, wait till you meet us, but we're fun.
Yeah, yeah, but
You guys you guys are off kilter in a way that I'm used to.
but yeah, so you interact with some people who say that they're like spiritual, right? And it's all cool. And then at some point you go, I don't think that when they say spiritual, it means the same thing that I say when I say spiritual, or mean when I say spiritual. And then like that's when you get into like the close your eyes and just picture normal everyday interaction with fucking little bitty kids in big bodies.
Okay, see, I don't feel like that. If somebody says they're spiritual, I let it be that. I, I I can kind of say that I'm not going to sit here and discuss my spirituality with you. Uh, but whatever you believe in, that's what you believe in. I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
Just
whatever gets you through the day, but
yeah,
if you're if you have the belief that you are fighting some spiritual battle, I'm also not going to pretend that you're not a little bit crazy,
Right. Okay.
We're all a
or
little
a
bit
lot of it.
crazy.
Right. Or a lot of crazy.
So some people take it to a different level, okay? But
Some people do. Yeah. A lot of
but
people.
it's
Yeah.
cool. I'm weird, like, so I get it if some.
Oh, I got that part.
But I'm me, and like I said, when there's a lot of oh, I think Daniel made the best word for it, spiritual materialism.
That wasn't my quote. I heard it, but you probably heard me say it before.
Yeah, okay, but it makes a lot of sense
Makes a lot of
because
sense.
some people are out here that do things for the sight. You know what I'm saying? Not so much of this for the senses.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's like this. I mean, oh God, we can go off on a tangent there, so I don't want to do that. I'll put it to you this way. Dylan, not so much. Probably Kawang more. Interact with people on a daily basis who like use oracular devices, say tarot cards or a pendulum or whatever. Right, Kai?
Yeah, I don't even do it all the time, but I know people that do it all the time. They won't even go to the store if they don't pull a tarot card. You know, And- seriously, they won't go nowhere until they do like a pendulum swing. And I've met people like that. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Do you know people like that, Dylan?
Thankfully, no.
Okay, thankfully no. So Kai, so what you're saying is that you in the circles of people who say that they're spiritual and use oracular devices, ultimately, when you catch them on down the road, it's hard for them to make any decision without first consulting some oracular device. So would that be an accurate statement of what you observe?
Yeah, yeah, it is. I feel that tarot decks and pendulum swings are great fun. It helps me get some insight on my life that maybe I wasn't looking in the right spot, but that's all they're there for. I won't
Uh,
sit there and pull a card every day. I won't
I
sit there and
see. Sorry, I see the tarot cards a lot similarly to how I view our discussion from last night. Tarot cards only have meaning if
Ascribe
you
meaning to them.
make them meaning.
Zach, know
But
yourself, know
if you
thyself.
look at a card and you say, "Oh, this is relevant to me," then
Hmm.
it's relevant to you. I've gotten cards pulled and I said, "No, that's kind of off base." It happens.
Yeah,
It,
and
And
it's just like your astrology or anything other than that.
yeah, I mean,
But they're great. They're great toys.
tarot
they're great
Yeah,
toys.
I
I
got
call
bad
them.
news. I got bad news for people who live by tarot cards. They're mass produced at a factory.
Yeah,
Boom.
boom. And
Boom.
and the worst case of this psychosis is like, for one, the minute that you like if you do a reading that regards somebody else, to make a decision, you're a fucking idiot.
And you're doing it all wrong.
You're doing it all wrong. Like
Yeah,
if you take a deck of cards out and you like if I go, did did Kai Wong eat that last bag of Funyuns to spite me? Okay, and I run those cards, and those cards show me based off of my interpretation that yes, in fact, Kai Wong ate
I
the last bag
I
of
don't
Funyuns.
need the cards to tell you that. No, he was hungry
He
and
was
had the
hungry,
munchies while he was high.
I had the munchies like a
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
But
He didn't even realize they were your Funyuns.
okay, so but follow me. So and I'm using this as hypothetical, but if certain people are listening who are like, look, like I always say, the bitch that barks is what?
The bitch you got
When I
hit.
got hit.
Bitch, you got hit. So if it offends you, as we used to say in the Baptist church, that's the Holy Spirit convicting you that
You
you just
you
got
should you should consult a tarot card to see
Yeah.
if we were talking about you.
yeah, do that. But okay, so it's like let's run the scenario. Kai Wong ate the last bag of Funyuns, and then I'm thinking, I'm like, did he do that because he had the munchies, or did he do that because he's a part of some secret cabal that's trying to undermine me
You're
with
a
my
targeted
efforts
individual.
with my Etsy shop?
It's definitely the second one. No.
What? No, 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 no. So it's like because he said this, and then you start psychoanalyzing. He said this, and he did this, and maybe he fluttered his eyes whenever he got that bag of Funyuns. So I don't really know because I mean, for the most time, Kai is like a really nice guy and has great 5-minute videos that just changed my day. Let me go and get my um uh Pokemon deck of tarot cards. Okay, which is printed at that same factory Dylan talked about as Aleister Crowley's deck. Oh, what a quickie dink! But
And probably the last set of Magic the Gathering
and
cards.
Magic the Gathering, and so then you go grab whatever your cards are, and you are inquiring about another individual who has free will. Okay, and then the cards, by your interpretation, say beyond a shadow of a doubt that yeah, he had ill intent when he ate that bag of Funyuns, and he actually fucking hates your guts. Okay, so
Damn, Kai, that's rude.
I
I
know.
was just doing a little bit of voodoo. No.
Okay,
I put
okay. So then, um, let's say I'm so invested. I think that I'm so advanced in my spirituality because I can break down all of these meanings in these cards, and I know for a fact that Kai did that because of maliciousness. And I'm gonna get up from that fucking reading, and I'm gonna make life decisions, okay? And I'm gonna go and confront Kai about this bag of Funyuns, which is gonna start an argument and a downward spiral, which will absolutely destroy our friendship forever.
If
Because
you're
I
destroying a friendship over Funyuns,
because the
know,
Pokemon cards told him to do it.
but the Pokemon cards, it's not about the Funyuns. It's about my ability to read the cards that said he's actually, doing some evil shit. Okay? Because he has no free will. It's all the cards. I'm going to destroy a fucking relationship because of my interpretation of a deck of tarot cards. Now, can you guys please explain to me how this makes anybody spiritually advanced at all?
I don't think
that
they
makes you a
understand the meaning
moron.
100%. I just don't feel like they understand the meaning 100%. And I will never tell them that because, like I said, I can't
Yeah,
change anybody else's perspective of me. I'm not gonna try to sit there and change their perspective for themselves because it's
you,
a
you'll never,
waste of time.
you'll never tell them that except on a public recording that's going to be uploaded where you told them exactly that.
I
Oh,
didn't think about that, but I'm glad it is because maybe they needed to hear.
Dylan's a motherfucking ninja. But yeah, I mean, but that's because it's got to be said, and the right people.
No, it does.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, seriously, it does, and the right people who need to hear it will hear it, and it will offend them. But god damn it, you better take a fucking close look at your life and go, I how many life decisions and relationships I've either made or absolutely destroyed based off of my arrogance, huh?
Pokemon cards.
Yeah, my arrogance to uh, believe that I can break down and decode the meanings of fucking Pokemon cards so much to where I can override other people's free will
Yeah,
with
and
my
getting back
interpretation of the
getting
card.
back into that. It, if you're doing this, somebody else is pulling the cards, giving you their perception on your life,
Mm.
Eh,
you're not doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's such a thing as natural selection, and if you're I take this tact with religion as well. If you are relying so much on an invisible force that you can't see and have to interpret signs that you don't know are actually signs, and you're making life decisions based on that, I,
Yeah.
you're a moron. Sorry.
Not
Especially if somebody else is pulling them for you.
Yeah,
especially if somebody else is pulling you, and maybe that and typically 9 times out of 10, if it's if you just walk into a random card reader that doesn't know any of the playing characters intimately, then it'll be a little bit distance. But if you're asking like somebody who's familiar with all the playing characters to do a reading, they're gonna put their agenda in whatever the fuck they read the card to you as.
well, yeah,
Am I?
it's a subjective experience, and you can't fully remove your bias. You can't fully remove your agenda. No human being is capable of that.
So you, as a thinking man, Dylan, more of a well, a realist,
Uh,
um, grounded. Okay.
sure.
What how would you I mean, how would you evaluate somebody who does make life decisions based off of this type of a scenario?
Um, how would I evaluate
I
them?
mean, what would you have to say about them? What would your thoughts be? Is this person healthy?
No, no, God, no, they're not at all healthy. Um, they they have no self-confidence. If they have to have decisions made for them by trading cards, they don't have any self-worth or any ability to make their own decisions.
Or have respect for the honestly what all of any scripture is about freedom and sovereignty, really. And what freedom and sovereignty really boils down to is free will of the individual.
Yeah, it's like with anything. If you're so paralyzed with indecision that you're relying on something else to make a decision,
Yeah.
can you really honestly say you're living?
Um, or honestly thinking or honestly feeling.
Now, I'm very risk averse. I fully acknowledge that, but
Wait,
I
what was that word?
risk averse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm risk averse. Um, I I don't like to take uncalculated risks,
Who
but I
does?
but I'd never get to a place where I would let trading cards made in the same factory as Magic the Gathering,
Hmm.
the Rise of Zenithir sets,
Hmm.
where make my decisions for me.
Yeah. I mean,
Not gonna happen.
yeah, dude. Eh, And my heart goes out to people who do
I know.
because
I feel bad for them.
I do
And
too.
I know a lot of people who were deeply religious. I mean, you guys just need to live a little.
Live a little. Honestly, okay. Um, when it comes to these types of topics, I always revert to film and theater. Seriously,
As any thinking man does.
as any thinking man would. I mean, yeah, honestly, that's the truth. You
Yeah,
know,
I wasn't being
yeah,
sarcastic.
not at all. But when it comes to matters like this, I always say, my favorite um, apex of this type of thing is Star Trek: The Final Frontier. And neither one of you have probably seen it because you're not Trekkies like me. But can I give you the setup?
Please go ahead.
Okay, and people who are listening, we're not going to actually put the clip in this because YouTube's butthole about stuff like that. So just YouTube the scene, and you'll get a visual of what I'm talking about. In Star Trek: The Final Frontier, basically, the premise of it is that there is a Vulcan, Spock's half brother, Sybok, who gets a vision from God. Okay, however the Vulcans say God, from heaven, Shakari. Okay, to capture a starship and get that starship to pierce the Great Barrier, so that this god can use this starship as a chariot to carry his infinite wisdom across the cosmos. Yada yada yada. So that's the plot of the movie, and Cybok firmly believes this, and because he's a Vulcan, he has the ability to kind of do a reverse mind meld with people who are in pain. Like in the very beginning of the movie, it's just physically, you could tell this guy's been depressed and wounded his whole life, and he's in a desert with a bunch of empty holes. Okay. And Cybok runs up, and the guy goes for like a phaser rifle. And Cybok says, I can't believe you would shoot me over a field of empty holes. And the guy with the rifle says, it's all I have, which was really, it was a good delivery of the line because you could tell the guy's pain in that one line. And Cybok says, you hold much pain, share it with me, and let the pain make you stronger. Okay. And so that was kind of the introduction to Cybok. Later in the movie, the critical turning point, the main characters, Spock, Kirk, and McCoy, are trying to stop his plot, and Cybok confronts them in the Enterprise. And basically, one by one, starting with Dr. McCoy, shows Dr. McCoy his greatest pain and trauma, which was that he was his father's doctor and had to pull the plug on his dad. Okay. Now, Dr. McCoy's having to relive this again, and he's like, God, don't show this to me. And Cybok, at Dr. McCoy's breaking point of trauma, Cybok says, this pain has poisoned your soul. Share it with me, and in the sharing, let it make you stronger. And he embraces Dr. McCoy. And then after he holds him for a while, and Dr. McCoy feels through the pain and releases it, like it looks like he's elated. Okay? And Kirk is in awe. And then he proceeds to do it to Spock, show Spock his greatest trauma, which was at birth. Whenever he was born, his father, Sarek, picked him up and said, so human. And that was Spock's earliest childhood trauma. And then And this is where it's brilliant. And on matters such as this is where I always will say the archetype that I adopt in this scene is James Tiberius Kirk. Because when Sybok attempts to even show Kirk his pain, Kirk digs in his heels and says, "No, I refuse." And McCoy says, "No, he's not a con man. He took my pain away." And Kirk says, "Damn it, Bones, you're a doctor. You know that pain and suffering can't be taken away with the wave of a magic wand." He said, "This sounds like brainwashing to me. I know what my pains are. I know what my traumas are. I'm not going to let this con man take me on a tour of them when I took a right when I should have took a left, or took a left when I should have took a right. I know what where my mistakes were at. I don't need Cybok to show me my pain. I need my pain. These are the things that we carry with us. These are the things that make us who we are." Okay?
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Fucking, that was brilliant. Brilliant. And when it comes to these spiritual matters where now that it's moving into that whole, embrace it, let it go. And yeah, we were talking about healing, but Kirk's right. These things are the things that we carry with us. They're the things that make us who we are. If we lose them, Kirk says, we lose ourselves.
I think it's like with everything, it's a balance. You don't want to remember so much pain that you can't go on, but and you don't want to let the pain define you, but you don't want to forget the lessons you learned from
Hey,
that pain.
Take it, grow from it.
yeah, you just nailed it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you release the carrying the pain of it, but you don't release it, because then you're going to be doomed to repeat it over and over and over again. Because yeah, I mean, Kirk's right, dude. I mean, eh, you guys watch that scene. Watch that scene. Look it up. Star Trek: The Final Frontier, where he says that, and William Shatner delivers it brilliantly too. And you know, I actually, when I was like 14 or 15, you ripped that entire line off because I had it memorized with some evangelical that was trying to get me to release my pain through the blood of Jesus. I said, I don't need to release it. That's who I am. I carry this with me because it's what makes me who I am. If I lose it, then I lose myself. And then I become internet's definition of amenable, which means brain washable, controllable. You know, we go too far out.
Yeah,
No, no, we're fine.
good. That's
I was
that's right
just
where I
looking
go.
up the clip so I could watch it when we're done
Yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah.
which will unfortunately have to be in a couple minutes.
Have to be in a couple of minutes. That's fine. So, I mean,
I think we cranked out some more good shit.
I think we
Yeah,
did.
yeah. I think it was a little bit better than last night. I mean, I've just been sitting here listening the whole time, but man, thank God for Candace Sense.
Thank God for innocence. The
Kai,
patron.
Kai, I want to get a status update. How high are you?
I was gonna say what I was gonna say, but I'm not. Actually, I'm gonna say I'm higher than giraffe pussy.
Yeah, higher than giraffe. Poontang.
Uh, I mean, that's low on a giraffe. Their height's
He
with
does
their
have a
neck.
point. He does have a point.
Well, you know what? I'm I'm just as high as Kai.
Hey, go get my tarot cards. Let's find out if Dylan threw that. I'm just fucking with you, dude. Don't go grab goddamn cards.
Kai, I swear to God, if you grab the tarot cards right now, I'm hanging up.
You're muted or
I
something.
grabbed the eye cheek.
Oh
Oh,
no, that was just delayed as shit. Speak. Closer to your mouth.
speak.
Okay, that's good. So I don't know. I mean, I'm me and Dylan, me and we had been off the air, whatever the fuck, off the air.
You guys never really get on the air.
Nobody gets on the air. Nobody
I,
does.
we're not airbenders.
Yeah, we're not. You're not Avatar.
Shit, I am.
Uh,
Aerokinesis. It
How
was a
are
joke.
you now?
but
It was a joke.
I
I can
know.
control the clouds.
but no, Dylan and I, Kawong, Dylan and I have talked about, our we when we scheme, when we make our master plan for what the Starship's Enterprise is going to attack next. one of the things that's come up is the metaphysical alternative media.
Well,
Okay,
I think this was a good foray.
a good foray, yeah. So Dylan, because Kyle probably doesn't really know, explain to him what from your point of view, the metaphysical alternative media is so far.
Are you familiar with the alternative media?
No. I
Okay,
was
the alternative media tries to make sense out of political events with no facts. The metaphysical media just takes that with less facts and tries to explain things that make even less sense in politics.
Can I give you an example? Okay,
Please.
I'm gonna professionally not mention names, but anybody who's listening to
Mhm.
this, who's in these circles, are gonna know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about, and I can't help that. It's like that rock in the path we were talking about, right? Can't get around it. There is, what's the best way to say it? Yeah, there are some personalities on the internet, okay, who do YouTube videos and podcasts and live streaming like everybody else. So whatever. But their graphics are a little bit snappier. It looks more movie-ish, more flashing things, and the music is like heavy professional guitar riffs. Okay, so they put that on YouTube. So you have a visual. Like you have reached or you're about to tune into the ultra duper duper uberverse hour, and it's got flashy graphics. So somebody who doesn't know how to do any kind of shit like that, graphic design, they go, ooh, quality equals uh, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for, Dylan?
Quality equals.
Oh,
Uh,
fuck. No.
uh,
Basically, this source of information or the information that I'm about to receive after this really sharp graphic is credible. That's what it is. Quality equals credibility. Okay,
oh, okay.
got me? You
I,
following me?
I wasn't sure where you were going with
Yeah,
that.
like I have the biggest fucking movie studio in the world and the biggest special effects team that say the Daniel Lewis Crumpton show, which is gaudy, which would never happen, right? And it looks real good on a screen, so that the normal person's watching it and they go high quality. That means that when the talking head comes on, they're credible. You get
Right,
it?
no, it's a snake oil salesman trick.
Snake oil salesman. So there are some personalities. This is no fucking joke, dude. This is for real. There, I'm not even joking. There is a brand and with that brand comes some personalities who, when they do regular podcasts and YouTube videos, basically me as a writer can tell what they're doing. They are telling a narrative within the metaphysical world that's been built of keywords like chakras, energy, okay, the timelines,
Frequency.
yeah, frequency, Lemuria, Merkaba, Atlantis, okay, ancient Egyptians and the Sumerians, and they take all this and put it into a Brunswick stew, okay? And they're mixing it up and making their own storyline where if you actually have the fucking patience to watch one of their 2 hour things and you listen to them, at the end of the day, like they went to ancient sites like the pyramids in Giza, and they just them, only them, did this ritual inside the Great Pyramid. Okay, this ritual, they did it, and that unlocked the timelines of what I would call the Uberverse. Okay, so that's not an exaggeration. I'm telling you that that's what these personalities are saying to their audiences. Okay, and that next year they're going to go to this other site and do these rituals, just them, and it's going to have this major effect over what I call the Uberverse. And did you start to add all these things up? What do you, as thinking people, start to suspect that they're saying about themselves? That they're the ones who are, quote, banishing all the evil archons to another dimension to not feed on us and putting all the old gods of death away. Only these two people. And they do it consistently on their narrative of their platform. Over time, what ultimately are they telling their audience?
Dear God.
You're, yeah, they're the Messiah.
Yeah.
People have
Really,
God
they
complexes though, so
they are they are narcissists to the highest degree.
Yeah,
I'd have to completely agree. But you know
Sa-
what?
Savior complex.
it's yeah, and
That is a We gotta put that on a T-shirt.
No,
What?
savior
Savior
complex is
complex.
something.
That's
Yeah, that's well accepted.
savior complex. But seriously, so and there are higher tiers of these people doing it, and then there are lower tiers, and that's what the alternative metaphysical media is. Like, for example, if you go to YouTube right now and you put in, like, I love watching the twin flame videos. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. Like, I'll watch the twin flame readings for the month. I love to do it. But you could do shit like that, or you could even like your horoscope. And they're all telling a narrative, a storyline, a narrative, right? And that's the alternative metaphysical media. And that me and Dylan are eventually going to. What are we going to do to them? Wait, did we just do it?
I think we did. Yeah. This was a good start. Not quite as good as what we were going to do, but this is definitely a good entryway.
Well, it's open. It's opening the can. Okay. So
Sorry.
there. No. So that's what the alternative metaphysical media is, and it's like it's ridiculous because it's just another form of tarot card. You're just clicking buttons this time. It's another oracle that you're going to
Psychic
make life
driving.
decisions.
Psychic driving.
Yeah, I mean, people do it.
Well,
People do that with a lot of different things. There, people use a lot of different tools to make decisions for them.
Hmm.
Not, I don't want to put it all on the tarot card people or the religious. It's not just them.
Yeah.
The people who watch their daily horoscopes and determine what route to take to work that day based on the amount of luck they think they have that day.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yep. 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 And it's
what's that? What's that? What do you say all the time about people like that? What are they doing? They're not psychic driving. What is it called? Fuck.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to Daniel. I'm like,
Oh,
he,
okay.
he normally says this one thing that people are. You got to watch out for some of these horoscopes because they're just
it's psychosomatic.
psychosomatic. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know why it's
Oh,
always on.
there you are.
Yeah, it's psychosomatic. And another thing is like this is one Dylan is there's a ton of apps that you can put on your smartphone, right? And Jesus Christ, I don't want to open up a can of worms, but it's the same. It's on the
Yeah.
same topic
D
of
don't
cards.
open up a large can of worms
No,
because I
no,
got I got 5 minutes and I don't want to sift through all of it in 5 minutes.
gotcha. No, but it's the same thing with apps. I mean, it's like you're gonna pick up a smartphone that knows that you were searching for Long Johns at Walmart on a different website, and now it's the algorithms are actually showing you that shit on Facebook, and you're gonna put the fate of the rest of your day on an app that is also tied into the same fucking algorithms. You're just a slave. It doesn't matter if you think that you're a slave. If you are letting some app on your phone override your free will as an individual, you are a fucking slave. You're a drone in an alcove on a cube to a collective that answers to a queen or used to answer to a queen played by Alice Krieg that Patrick Stewart snapped her fucking neck, and I'm talking about the Borg. Deal with it. You're not an individual, you're a fucking drone. Am I lying?
No, I agree. I can't say that because I have one app on my phone that is pretty good. I'm not on it all the time every
I
day.
And I have the same app on my phone too.
Look,
Yeah.
I don't think apps are inherently bad, and I don't think there's a difference between taking advice from something and just blindly following it.
Yeah, that's
Th-
perfect.
Hmm.
there's a massive difference.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you can turn on your GPS and it gives you a route. And if you think the route makes sense, take the route.
Yeah.
But if you don't,
Yeah.
don't. Eh,
Yeah.
don't blindly follow anything.
You nailed it. You nailed
But just because just don't not do something because somebody else is telling you to do it, because then you're just being a hard-headed asshole.
it. Yeah. I mean, and I'm gonna dig my heels in on free will of the individual every time. When you surrender that, that's when you fucked up. over anything, whether it be a preacher, a minister, a YouTube video, an app, or a tarot card or whatever. When you surrender your free will, and it's like this: I want that glass of water over there, but my reading says that
It's poison.
whatever. Yeah, it's poison, but I want it. My will wants that glass of water. Okay. But all of these oracular devices, which take me out of individual, take me out of I am, take me out of it for secondhand guidance or acknowledgement, take me away from my will, which is I want that water. I want what's in that glass, even if it's poison, I want it. Okay? So if you drink from that glass and it is poison, you may die, but at least you retain your soul because you acted on your will. Is that too much of a
Mm-mm.
Um, I think if you know for a fact the glass is poisoned and you still want it, you got issues you might need to work out. But if you're not, but
that's
if
a different show.
yeah, but if you're not taking a risk
Yeah.
because a tarot card told you not to,
Yeah.
So,
re-examine. If
yeah.
if you don't want to take the risk because you don't want to take the risk, hey, you are one of my people.
Yeah. 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 So, uh, last words on this one. Let's wrap this one up. I thought this was pretty neato, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this one.
Yeah. Jerry Springer's final thoughts, Kai Wong.
Oh man, no, I just really thought that we touched on a lot of things tonight that, people are gonna hear and it's gonna help.
Final thoughts on oracular devices and sovereignty and free will, Dylan Wade.
Don't be a moron. Live a little bit and troll everyone.
Oh, that's
Troll.
perfect.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I could top that with. We are going to be showing up on what Angel Espino's PSN Network, September 20th, right, Dylan?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, hopefully he'll have all this new content in his arsenal before he has us on because we did like a Picard maneuver in the past couple days, I think, right, Cowboy?
I'd have to completely agree, sir.
All right, man. Well, anyway, like again,
Uh, it'll it'll only be different if we do another Picard maneuver before September 20th.
I think we can.
Uh,
I
We
don't
can
believe
and we can indeed.
we can indeed. We don't believe in no-win scenarios. And with that, I shall pretend to snap my fingers over at some crew, which is actually my little digits that will make the credits rolleth.
Ooh.
And scene.
Nice.